One. Hi, everyone. I'm Esther of Study Abroad Student Services. It is a pleasure to be with you today. And today we are going to be having an amazing conversation with an amazing, equally amazing young person. And this is Miss Christine Khan of the University of Winnipeg Collegiate. So, what are we going to be discussing today? We'll be discussing the alternative university pathways to get to university through the CSEC after taking CSEC and finding out what that can look like. So we're excited to have you join us. We look forward to your questions. And as you know, this is being recorded. So we look forward to your feedback at this time. So Christine, welcome.
Thank you, Esther, and thank you everyone for attending. I've just allowed a couple more participants into our session, so welcome to those participants that are in our room right now. My name is Christine Khan. I am the International Program Coordinator at the University of Winnipeg Collegiate. And so I'm so happy to have you here today to allow me the opportunity to be able to talk about our unique program and the possibilities for you to really go abroad and find that unique pathway for you.
Thank you so much, Christine.
Yeah.
I have a question just before you jump into it, Christine. And the question is this. In terms of your experience studying in Canada, can you tell us a little bit about what your experience has been? And do you know of any persons who have also experienced or have experienced that international student experience in Canada?
Yes, of course. So maybe it's, before I give your introduction about our lovely school, the University of Winnipeg Collegiate, maybe it's an opportunity to share a little bit about me. I'm very transparent. I build my experience and my thoughts and my desire to share things with other students based on my own experience. So I'm born and raised in Winnipeg, Canada. So Winnipeg is home for me. My parents are actually originally from Trinidad in the West Indies, and so I'm a proud Trinidad. My heart is there. And having spent time in Trinidad, I understand the education system, and I understand the desires for students to want to go abroad and study in Canada. And so having worked at the University of Winnipeg Collegiate and also studied at the University of Winnipeg, I feel that we have a wonderful, wonderful school for students in Trinidad, in the West Indies, in the Caribbean, in Guyana, wherever you may be in the world. And so that's why I'm really here today to share not only my story, but a story about our school and the pathways and opportunities for students to come to us. So throughout the presentation or at the end of the presentation, if you have any questions, personal questions as well, even just about my personal experience attending the University of Winnipeg for my undergraduate degree, or my thoughts and opinions, I would be happy to share those with you. So as we get started, the University of Winnipeg, and I hope everybody, Esther, are you able to see my screen okay?
Absolutely. I see it just fine.
Great. The University of Winnipeg is the public institution. So we're one of the top undergraduate liberal arts universities in Canada. The University of Winnipeg has 5 departments or umbrellas, if you may say. There is the undergraduate programs, the professional programs, the master's programs, the English language school, and the high school. So I am from the high school, very unique. There's no one like us out there, okay? There's no one where you're actually getting a high school within a university. And so that's why I'm really here to just share how unique this experience is. So when students come to our school, they're getting the best of both worlds. They're not only getting the high school experience, they're getting the university experience. It's important to note that we are a private high school. So unlike public schools in Canada, our students are applying to be at our school. Our school charges tuition to both Canadian and international students, and our expectations and our academics is at a much higher level because we are a private school. And what really stands out is that our students are mature, responsible, they want to be there. Every faculty has that time and commitment for our students. And because of that, it's a very wonderful environment. So you may be asking, how do I see myself in this pathway? Why am I here today? We probably got your attention based on the fact that if you are currently doing your CSEC and you are wanting to find a different pathway compared to CAPE or A levels, that's why I'm here today to really talk to you about that. So the University of Winnipeg Collegiate is a high school. We have 4 grades, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, and grade 12. And so what is very wonderful about our pathway is that students that have completed or will be completing their Caribbean Examination Council exams, so CSEC, they have the opportunity to be able to complete those exams, be recognized at the grade 11 level, and then come to our school for grade 12. So that is our what's called UW PUP pathway. So again, what you do is you complete your CSEC in your home country. You apply to our school, and you can apply as early as mock results. So no need to just wait till those official results. You can apply as early as soon as you have your mock results. If you have a B average or higher, then you will qualify for our pathway program, in which you will get you will get an acceptance to our high school grade 12 program and a conditional acceptance to the university. The grade 12 program takes 8 months minimum, 10 months maximum, depending if we need to do some remedial work. And within 8 to 10 months, you're done your grade 12 year. You're getting your Manitoba high school diploma, and you are applying to direct entry to the University of Winnipeg, or if you want, anywhere in the world. So again, that is why I'm here. I'm really here to promote our pathway program. I am here to let you know about the benefits. The biggest benefit to me is, why go on and do 2 more years of CAPE when you can essentially come to our school for less than a year, 8 months, complete your grade 12 high school, get your Manitoba high school diploma, recognized around the world, and then go on directly to university. There are a couple other benefits, of course, about coming abroad a little bit earlier. So if you already know you want to go to Canada, why not just come for grade 12? Why put yourself through CAPE 2 more years? Come earlier, experience the Canadian culture, the Canadian curriculum. Of course, if you're very involved in the news and you've been hearing recently about the IRCC immigration caps, you're definitely going to be avoiding that cap. Now you're not part of the university or post-secondary application, you're part of the secondary school application. So by coming earlier, by coming for your grade 12 year, you don't have to be part of that cap. You won't have any immigration issues in terms of fulfilling, caps. And most likely, we're just waiting for confirmation. After finishing your grade 12 year in Manitoba, and then applying to go to the University of Winnipeg or renew your study permit, you will most likely not be part of that cap as well. So that's another way to avoid those immigration caps. So like I said, you get the solid Canadian foundation for their grade 12 year. You also get scholarship considerations. That's another huge benefit about coming earlier to the collegiate. Now that you are graduating with your Manitoba high school diploma, you are essentially graduating with a Canadian education, a Canadian diploma. So now when you are applying to universities or you're going to the University of Winnipeg for your undergraduate studies, even though you'll be considered international in terms of fees and study permits and all those fun things, you'll be considered a Canadian high school graduate because you have your grade 12 year with us. So what that means is that you will be eligible for all of those entrance scholarships that otherwise international students are not eligible for. You will automatically be considered for entrance scholarships based on your average, your grade average with us for grade 12, and you may qualify for major scholarships as well. So to me, that's a really big benefit. A lot of our international students that come from different countries, because it's apples to orange curriculum, you don't necessarily get included in those scholarship pools. So by having the apples to apples curriculum, Canadian to Canadian, then you open up the pool to many more possibilities of being assessed and eligible based on your Manitoba grade 12 grades. And then, of course, Manitoba is a very strong province for immigration pathways. So if you eventually see yourself living in Winnipeg or living in Manitoba or wanting to become a permanent resident, then our province is one of the best provinces to be able to get to that permanent residency after you've completed your undergraduate degree. So again, you're kind of thinking, you're thinking forward, but you're working backwards. So if your end goal is eventually to want to live in Canada, then why not come to Manitoba, get your Manitoba high school diploma, go on to university in Winnipeg, and then be able to apply for your permanent residency. For those that are a little bit younger, so for example, you're interested in our grades 9 or 10 or 11, there's definitely the opportunity there. Or if you have siblings, for example, you may be considering grade 12, but you may have a brother or a sister that's younger and you want to both come together, then of course, we're a full high school. We offer grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, and grade 12 programming. And then our last pathway is for those students that may have the door closed on them. And so many universities, or most universities in Canada, require A levels or those CAPE results to be able to get direct entry into university. If you've spent 2 years, you've studied your hardest, you did your exams, things didn't go well, and you didn't get the marks or the grades to be able to get direct entry into university, the door is not closed for you. I want you guys to know that. The University of Winnipeg Collegiate has what's called a University Foundation Program. And this is geared for students that have completed high school in their home country, are not able to get direct entry into their desired university. So what they can do is they could come to our school. They could do their grade 12 year, again with us. So you're coming for, again, 8 to 10 months. You do your grade 12 year with us. You graduate with your Manitoba high school diploma, and then you could apply to any university in Canada, the US, the UK, Australia, New Zealand. You can even go back to the West Indies, the Caribbean, wherever you want to go. Those options are there. A little bit more about our school. We are located in downtown Winnipeg. We are about a 2-hour flight from Toronto. So very, very easy connections. Wherever you may be in the Caribbean, you fly into Pearson International Airport and you're taking a connection to Winnipeg. Some of the positive things, we are cold. We are very, very cold. I do have to admit that. But some of the positive things about Winnipeg is that, as long as you're able to bundle up and you wear your jacket and your hat and your mitts, you're going to be okay. I actually tell all of my students that I would take -20 or -30 in Winnipeg over -5 in Toronto any day because we're not near the water. And so when we're not near the water, that means that we are very dry, dry cold. So as long as you're wearing your jacket and your hat, you're totally fine. We're also a downtown campus, so kind of nice that we're very accessible to for transportation purposes. We're downtown. It feels like you're going to a very urban university. You have accessibilities to the restaurants, to transportation. We're spread out within a couple, city blocks. So we may have one building here, one building here. So it's a very nice environment. Um, the university has about 10,000 students. The high school is about 400 students. Of those 400 students, we have about 50 to 70 international students from all around the world in positions like you, just like you, so they may be interested in coming for grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, and grade 12. They may be just done their IGCSEs, which is British curriculum, their Caribbean curriculum. They don't want to go on to do 2 more years. They want to save a year. So they come to us for grade 12, or they may have had that door closed on them and they can't go directly into university. They want one more chance to get that golden ticket to be able to go to university. So many students from different situations, different ages as well. It's important to note that. So if you find yourself 19, 20, you did your A-levels, your CAPES, unfortunately, it's just not good enough. That doesn't close the door for you because of your age. I really want you to know that. Don't give up. We have had students that are 20, 21, 22. As long as they don't have an academic gap of 24 months or 2 years or more, they have been able to get their high school study permit to be able to come to Winnipeg to do their grade 12 year. And they're 21. And sometimes you think, oh no, I'm 21, the door is closed. But no, we've had those situations. And these situations happen in the Caribbean. So I want you to know that that's an option for you as well. Some unique things about our school is that if you're able to get to us for grade 9, grade 10, or grade 11, when you're in your grade 12 year, because we're part of this university, our students have the opportunity to be able to take dual credit university courses. So we don't have AP or IB courses. What we have is actual real university courses. So our students in their grade 12 year are taking university courses. So I always like to say it's like 1 foot in the door in high school, 1 foot in the door in university. Our high school students are graduating with their Manitoba High School diploma and could have 6 to 12 to 18 university credits already under their belt before they even set foot in a university. So again, those are one of the biggest benefits of, coming abroad earlier. You could accelerate your high school year so that you are getting that 1 foot in the door into university at a much earlier age. And I'm talking like 16, 17 here. Preparation for university, of course, that is what we are. We are a private preparatory high school. So you may want to know, why skip the CAPES? Why go abroad earlier? Our goal is to prepare you for university. So everything about our high school within the university is just like university. So whether that be our timetabling, the way we teach, the lecturing, the way you approach your faculty, your professors, it's the whole purpose is to kind of bridge that transition, make it as smooth as possible from high school to university. And so I'm there as the international program coordinator to make sure that all of our students are on a track to success and are ready for university, are getting into their top universities that they want, are getting those big scholarships. And so that's our job, and we have a full team to support our students. We have a wide range of courses available. What I really like just from myself being exposed to the education system in the Caribbean and comparing it to Canadian education, is that throughout the grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, and grade 12 year, you're doing your compulsory courses. So for example, your math and your English and your physical education and your sciences if you want to do sciences, but then we also have a wide range of electives. And so you're in your grade 12 year, and if you want to do your sciences, great. But you also have an opportunity to be able to do stuff like computer science or psychology or economics, law, global issues, drama, art. So it's really nice that you're kind of getting that well-rounded Canadian curriculum throughout your whole high school experience. I really like that in comparison to, really focusing on 2 subjects or 3 subjects and putting your whole sweat and heart into 2 or 3 subjects. This way, if you're especially undecided and you're not too sure what you want to do in university, it's a really good opportunity to be able to get a good introduction about, what possibilities there may be. And get a balanced approach. So you could do sciences with social studies or arts. So it's really nice that it's more well-rounded and a really good, solid Canadian curriculum for university. Our class sizes are very small, so we're 14 to 25 students. And what is really nice about our academic year is that our classes run from September until April. So remember in the beginning of the presentation, I talked about 8 months. That is where you're getting the 8 months from. Okay, so let me give you an example. You're 16, you've done your Caribbean examination in May and June. You've gotten your results. You want to come to our school for grade 12. You arrive for September, and you're taking classes from September until April. So for students that are interested for this year, imagine next year, April 2025, you could be doing your final exams, just like our students right now. And in May 2025, you could be crossing the stage with your Canadian high school diploma. And that is it. No more 2 years of CAPES, no more having to try to apply to different universities. You could be done. You could have your Canadian high school diploma in your hand, ready to go to anywhere in the world. Even though we're a high school at the university, we're just like a normal high school. So we have clubs and activities, we have sports teams, basketball, volleyball, track and field, soccer are our most popular sports. You really get that high school vibe. You get the student council, the youth and philanthropy, all of those fun things at lunch hours to really get you highly involved. You could even go to the university lectures. So a lot of fun things throughout the school year to keep you active. Our faculty are one of the best, I must say. We have a faculty of about 35 professors, and our faculty have been there for 20 to 30 plus years. So that's one great thing. We're not some rooftop 7-Eleven high school. We have had a tradition of 100 plus years of high academics. And so it's very, very important to let you know that our faculty are highly educated. We're talking masters and PhDs teaching at the high school level. They are committed to our students. They teach our students in a manner that is just like university. And so when they're in the classroom, they're engaging with our students. They are having webinars, they're having interactive sessions, presentations. They are engaging in dialogue. They want to know your opinions, your thoughts, their debates. Even if it's a different opinion, feel free to share your thoughts. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to build your confidence, because the biggest transition that we've noticed, or I even myself noticed going from high school to university, is that confidence, that lack of confidence, and trying to build that confidence. Imagine when you're in university, you're one out of 200 kids in your first year introduction to biology class, and you have a question, but you're so intimidated to go ask that question. You don't want to be that one student that asks that silly question. So what our faculty members from the age of even grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12, is that they're teaching you that you're the driver of your education. You are in control. You are in control of where you want to be. And so if you don't ask those questions, if you don't go see your professors during their office hours, if you don't email them for extra help, then you're the one that's going to get lost. You're the one that's not going to have those directions, and you're going to get lost. And so that whole philosophy really emphasizes the type of school that we are. Again, we are a university preparatory high school. We're not like this. We're not like, okay, you got to hand in your assignments, or you got to do this, or you got to do that, because that's not what happens in university. And so we're trying to teach our students, again, from the very young age, grade 9, that you're responsible for your education. Again, the biggest benefit is that our high school, our little high school, have the endless opportunities to be able to access everything that the university has to offer. So imagine like, for example, the University of the West Indies, you're there and you have full access to everything that the university has to offer. So you have access to the soccer field, the fitness center, the huge library, the theater centers, the medical clinic. Like I said, university lectures during the lunch hours. You could take university courses in your grade 12 year. So physically, you're going to a university. Academically, you're still doing the high school academics. For students that are underage and they're coming to our school, one of the wonderful opportunities is that our students get to stay on campus with us. So no need to worry about homestay. You can stay with us in residence and university residence. We have our entire floor available for our high school students. So for parents that are very concerned about sending your child away at 16, 17, we have a really robust on-campus residence program. I like to think of it as the residence is like our landlords are. We put our students in there, but we are running the program. So we are providing supervision, we're providing mentorship, cooking classes, a lot of fun activities. Even tonight, as soon as I'm done this presentation, I'm actually heading to the residence, and I've ordered Popeyes for everybody, and we're going to have a feast, our last feast, because exams are done, and we're going to clean our rooms because everyone is going home next week. So we're very, very involved with our students. We want them to not only have that really good academic experience, but also those lifelong living skills. So they're 16, they're 17, they're learning how to do their laundry. They're learning how to get up on time and go to school. They're learning how to clean their room, their toilets. They're knowing how to budget, how to know when to eat. So it's like our academics mirror our, philosophy about learning how to just live and get those real life experience. Of course, we have health insurance. That's always a major part of all international programs. So we also offer that as well. So scholarships, I know a lot of you, so that is, the only one downside is that, if you do want to come abroad earlier, you are paying for that extra year. But we do have international scholarships. So I want you to know that. We have entrance scholarships starting from $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. They're meant to award our students for being high achievers and getting really good final grades. So they're not meant to supplement your tuition. You will have to pay for your tuition up front. They're meant to be able to provide you with an award after you arrive. Great, you did so good on your Caribbean examination results. You're one of our top students overall. Here's a scholarship. We also have the President's Scholarship as well. Our President's Scholarship, if you are a student, you're highly active in your school, you're a leader, you do a lot of volunteer, you're part of student council, the UN, or any kind of volunteer stuff like that, then you may qualify for the President's Scholarship. The President's Scholarship is 3,500 Canadian dollars, and we are allowed to award up to 3 scholarships. And annually, we get about 8 applications. So the chances of getting a President's Scholarship, if you are highly involved is very good. And then again, a little fun fact that I've already mentioned is that our international graduates qualify for entrance scholarships across Canada. If you've checked out our TikTok, our Instagram, we actually had a student, or we have a student that is graduating next month, and he got the international scholarship at the University of Toronto, valued at $180,000 Canadian over 4 years. So he is graduating with our grade 12 high school program. He only came for 1 year. He only came for 1 year. So that's really important to note. He did really well. His grade 12 grades were about 95%. He applied to the University of Toronto, and he was actually automatically considered for the scholarship. And again, valued at 180,000 Canadian dollars. So that's his 4 years of university. So we're so proud that our students, because they're coming to our school as a pathway, they're opening up their doors to so much opportunities that they may not have had they applied from their home country initially. Our fees. So this is some of the fun things. Our fees for 1 full year is 18,500 Canadian dollars. I think that's about 15,000 or give or so US dollars. So in terms of that private education, we're actually at the lower point compared to some of the top boarding schools in Canada. Boarding schools in Canada could be up to 60 to 70,000. And we're actually a little bit higher, maybe about $2,000 or $3,000 than our public school systems for our international students. So we're at a really good price point for a private education at a high school within a university. That also includes all those university courses. Remember, I had talked about the dual credit courses. So if you're in your grade 12 year and you qualify for those dual credit courses, it includes those university courses as well. So the earlier you could come to us, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, to be able to qualify for those university courses when you're paying your tuition, it's all included in there. So that's one great benefit as well. Like I've mentioned about our one example, our students go to top universities. So, we're part of the University of Winnipeg. We would love to see you continue on your journey in University of Winnipeg, reap the benefits of of the CAP, reap the benefits of our immigration policies in Manitoba. The cost of living is way cheaper than Ontario and British Columbia, but I do have to let you know that our students go to top universities around the world. So they're coming to our school as a feeder school, as a pathway school, and they're going to the University of Toronto, University of British Columbia, McGill, Waterloo, if they want to do engineering. Our students are going to the US, our students are going to the UK, Australia, New Zealand, everywhere that you could imagine. They're applying and they're getting accepted. If you are interested in the application process, please reach out to Esther. Esther could definitely help you and guide you through the admission process. It's a very, very simple admission process. There's an online application. We do ask for your credentials for the past 3 years. So the equivalent of grade 9, grade 10, grade 11. I do interview all of my students. I feel it's really, really important for me to be able to spend some quality time with them on Zoom, get to understand the reasons why they want to come to our school, why they want to study abroad, and really make sure that I am confident that our environment, our unique environment, is a good fit for them. And then once the tuition is paid, then you get your official acceptance letter and you're applying for your study permit. And Esther is there to provide all of that support from A to Z. We have a lot of collegiate resources. We have our website, we have our YouTube channel, we have our view books. I would be so happy to meet more one-on-one. So we have a lot of people in attendance today. If I don't answer your questions or you have more questions later on and you want to do a one-on-one meeting with me and Esther, please just reach out and I would be happy to have those one-on-one Zoom sessions with you to be able to answer any questions or concerns you may have. As a parent myself, sending your child abroad, there's a lot of worries, there's a lot of questions, especially, maybe changing your mindset from thinking, okay, well, they're going in university, but now kind of questioning, okay, should they go a little earlier now? Should they really take advantage of those benefits? But then they're only 16 and they're only 17. I would be happy to meet with you and talk to you about any concerns that you may have about sending your child, your minor, and putting them into my care. I'll be happy to do that for you. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram. Our YouTube channel for all of our students is a really good way to get to kind of see a glimpse of our school and our students and our environment and our culture. And then there's our contact information. So I hope I was able to answer some of your questions. Please feel free to email us at any time with any more questions. I'd be happy to help. And Esther, I'm pretty sure there may be some 1 or 2 questions as well. I'm available right now to answer those too.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I just want to say thank you. As the questions start coming in, everyone, please feel free to post your questions. I've been typing in the chat for persons, inviting them to ask their questions. Christine, this has been very, very, very informative. So thank you for really opening up. I think, if anything, the minds of the parents and the minds of the students and the minds of those teachers and other persons who are part of this whole study abroad process, who may be a little bit, nervous. Guys, before we start, one thing I want to share is that Christine, once again, she is not only handling the admissions process and helping in that capacity, but Christine wears several hats. But one of them I'm going to highlight, and that is also with the advisory stuff. So Christine is such a hands-on team player at U Winnipeg Collegiate, and her presence is felt, her presence is known. So it's not a matter of we engage with you here and then that's it. That's it. No. What happens is then we move things along where Christine is going to be on the receiving end in Winnipeg at U Winnipeg Collegiate. You will see her, all right, on a regular basis, a pretty regular basis, maybe more regular than you think. So for that reason, I really felt so confident about having U Winnipeg Collegiate on board because of Christine's presence and the way that she has handled things with this portfolio thus far. So I just want to leave that there. And we're going to open the floor to questions. So please type your questions. I see we have one question thus far. If you'd like, I can read it for you, Christine. Would you like me to read it?
Sure.
Question from Elijah. Hi, Elijah. And the question is, well, he said, good evening. My question is with regard to your program and CAPE. Currently, I'm a CAPE writing student on the second leg of my exams. I wanted to know what is the benefit, essentially, of having CAPE brings to the table, the benefit of having CAPE. He says, I know in some cases, CAPE can be essentially used as transferable credits, thereby bypassing certain courses. Is this the same for your institution? That's his question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good question. So I know at the University of Winnipeg, if you were to apply with your 2 CAPEs, you won't get university credit in your first year. Essentially, what is required to just meet the entrance requirements is two CAPEs or 2 subjects. That only just meets the entrance requirements.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything to share about that, Esther?
I am gonna chime right on in. Thank you. I'm gonna chime on in with that. So Elijah, just to sort of clarify things here, this is something that is always a very important point of clarity. It's been said that the CAPE, at the end of CAPE, that so many credits are assigned to students. What Christine has said is completely correct. It shows that you can handle university level work. it does not mean that it's the equivalent of university level work. So what some schools sometimes may do is they may provide, after spending 2 years, they may, let's say it's economics, you may get half a credit off of a 4 credit course. You may get half of a credit off. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes repeatedly. What can happen? A student may even get 1 credit off of a 4 credit course. And that 4 credit course is part of your 12 credit courses for your full-time starter in that term. So you need 12 credits to be full-time in any given term, usually 12 credits. And of that, 1 course, maybe 4 credits, maybe even 3 credits, and you may get half of a credit off, sometimes 1 credit off. So it's really to show, to demonstrate that you are able to handle the rigors of university study. That's what it really does. It shows that you have the academic potential to do that, and you have the intellectual gusto to take it on. So that's what that really does. Yeah. So I'm glad that clarified things. There's another question, Christine, from, I think I saw a question from Zia. Hi, Zia. And she says, good evening. Regarding the visa, does your institution assist with the application? And does acceptance to the school guarantee the awarding of the visa? So I'll let Christine answer first, and then I'll come behind as a support. Yes.
Sure. So when you apply to our school, if you're in the situation or the pathway where you're applying because you have your CSEC and you're wanting to just come for our grade 12 year, you have that B average or higher, and you do qualify for admission, I'm going to give you my acceptance letter from the collegiate. So you're going to get, congratulations, you're accepted to our grade 12 high school program to do your last year of high school. Again, if you have that high enough average, you'll get a conditional offer from the University of Winnipeg for their undergraduate program. You then take those 2 letters of acceptance letters and use it for your visa application. Now, to answer your question about does the school guarantee the awarding of the visas? So the schools, the institutions in Canada are very separate from IRCC Immigration Canada. In order to apply for your study permit, you definitely need to be accepted to our school, and you have to have a letter of acceptance. But there are other components to applying to the visa, such as financial support, proof of funds, those fun things, which Esther could probably answer those as well.
Thank you there. Thank you, Christine. Zia, one of the things that, it's as you're coming into this new space, and others who are not asking questions yet, please post your questions, post them away while we have time with Christine. Christine is with us. When it comes to the visa application, Christine is correct. There is a different treatment when it comes to that. And if you need a bit of guidance with that, we would be able or happy to provide some guidance in terms of how that will work. The only person that can, quote unquote, guarantee awarding a visa, there is no guarantee, really. It's based on the immigration body of Canada, which is IRCC. So as long as all of the things that are required are met, then we're pretty sure and we're pretty confident that things can go well. But it's all up to you and meeting the requirements of the immigration requirements. Okay, so I hope that answers that question. See some more questions. Some brave souls are asking questions now, which is great. And so thank you for your question, Zia. So Zia was asking, not the school. What I meant was if the acceptance letter guarantee the IRCC giving the visa. So I hope that sort of clarified things, right? Once all the requirements are met by IRCC beyond the acceptance letter, then the visa is a likely, it likely will take place, right? But you have to meet the requirements first. So we can discuss that separately another day or another time.
I
Add
would, I want to say,
yes.
Esther, that uh, from just my own experience, 15 years in international education, the success rate or the visa success rate of students applying from the Caribbean is very high in comparison to other countries. And applying to high school as well is very high in terms of the success rate. In terms of the tuition, as I said, tuition is required upfront. If for any reason, knock on wood, you're not able to get your study permit approved and you don't want to reapply, you're more than welcome to reapply. We have a no risk policy. So you send your tuition, whatever you send back, we will send back to you at no risk. So just wanted to reassure students and parents that if you're not able to get your visa for whatever reason on your first or second or even third attempt, we will definitely send back all of your tuition paid upfront.
Guys, that is such an important point to note. That is not the narrative for the most part, what Christine just said. It's not the case. So it's great that there would be a refund, students would be refunded, parents would be refunded if that's the case. Adene's question is, Adene says, good afternoon. Would grade threes on my CXC document affect my acceptance into your institution as an international student?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. So admission to our school is based on a couple of factors. So not only your grades, but a reference letter, your previous school grades. So not just your one document, but going back 3 years, as I have mentioned. Your reference letter, the interview. So we do an interview, and then we also do a writing assessment as well. So, if you didn't do so well in your exam, but you've done, perfectly fine throughout your other academic years, I take everything into consideration. So I don't want to say that because you got a 3, you're not accepted, or a 4, or whatever the case may be, you're not accepted. I don't want to close the door because my admission decision is based on multiple factors. Like I said, I love to spend time interviewing our students. We spend about 30 minutes talking about the reasons why you want to come, lessons learned. There was COVID. Maybe you don't do well in exams, but you're a very, very highly academic student. So there's a lot of opportunity to be able to get a better picture. And based on that full picture, then I can make an admissions decision.
Thank you, Christine. Hope that answers your
And just to add to that, sorry, if there's any of you that are questioning, do I qualify? Just send your transcripts to Esther. Send your transcripts, send whatever you have to Esther and send it, and then Esther will send it to me. I won't charge you the application fee. I won't make you go through the whole application process. I could just have a really good sense of where you are academically. And then I will say, okay, Esther, let's encourage a student to apply. I see potential here. So we could definitely do a pre-assessment or a preliminary check on your transcripts if you have questions.
But guys, that is the benefit a lot of times of having someone who's not just remotely talking about stuff, but they're part of the actual mechanism, the school. This is huge. We have N. James. N. James has a question. N. James says, hi, good evening, good evening. My question is, with regard to CSEC passes and the final year of high school, I think I joined late, but what does that final year entail? And what is the average cost of such?
So I'm assuming you're wondering, like what does the grade 12, what happens in the grade 12 year? Is that how I understood the
Yes.
question?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I probably didn't touch too much on it. So if you have your CSEC passes, that is equivalent to grade 11. I'm going to give you credit for grade 9, grade 10, and grade 11. So that means that you're going to have X amount of credits towards your high school diploma. So when you're coming to us for grade 12, you are completing, let's say, 8 to 9 grade 12 courses. Of those courses, you're doing your math, your English, your physical education, and your Canadian history, because those are compulsory courses, and the rest are your choice. They're your electives. So that's what I meant when I was talking previously about the benefits of being able to get more of a well-rounded Canadian grade 12 curriculum education, is that you're doing 8 courses, you're getting a really good introduction to a lot of those Canadian curriculums to be able to help you in your first year of university. In terms of the cost for that grade 12 year is 18,500 Canadian dollars, and that covers you from September all the way until June if you stay for our spring session.
Thank you so much. We have a question from Emmanuel. They raised their hand. Do you want to type your question, or do you want us to unmute you, Emmanuel? Hello?
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Good day. So my question is, my name is Emmanuel, and I'm the father to Elijah, who asked the question, and also my daughter is there, Elizabeth. I want to know, apart from the cost for the tuition fee, what other costs is associated with schooling, at your institution? And then other than that, the second question would be, do you offer admissions to students who are yet to do CSEC exams?
Yes, so 2 really good questions. I've mentioned 18,500, but transparency, of course, there, like I've said in my list of fees, there's health insurance, there's a textbook fee, there's a graduation fee, and so that goes towards the collegiate tuition. If your child is coming to stay in residence, that's separate, okay? So the 18,500 plus those incidental fees is separate from the residence fees. Residence fees is approximately, depending on the meal plan that you choose, is approximately 12,000 Canadian dollars. That covers accommodation and that covers meals throughout the period of the time here. So if you're looking for an overall rounded number to what the whole year experience would be like, including tuition, including health insurance, textbooks, and residence, you're looking at about 31 to 32 thousand dollars Canadian dollars. So 31 to 32,000 Canadian dollars.
Okay. What about the issue of proof of funds?
Proof of funds?
Yeah.
Proof of funds, Esther?
It's more of a, certainly, it's a great question. It's more of an immigration question. We can provide you a bit of guidance on that if you'd like. You can send a WhatsApp to me, and I'd be happy to answer. I think I posted my WhatsApp in the chat, so there's no problem there. Yeah. A question from Zia. The question says, is there a discount rate for siblings? I skipped another question here. Yeah. Is there a discount rate for siblings?
Yeah, we can offer a discount rate, not a problem. If the 2 siblings are in the high school at the same time, then we could offer a 5% discount off of each of their tuition. If one graduates and then the other one still is in high school, then it's just the regular rate. But if they're in, like, for example, grade 9, one is in grade 12, then yes, for 5% off of the tuition, which is 18,500 for both students. And to gentleman, the father that I was just speaking, if you haven't done your exams, then that's fine. Then you would probably qualify for a grade 10 or grade 11 entry. So again, if you're not sure, send your transcripts, send your report cards to Esther. We could do a preliminary evaluation. We can let you know what level you may qualify for without even having to pay the application fee.
See, Xavier has raised a hand.
Hi. You said that we could do like a test to see what we can qualify for.
E-test?
well, you said just now earlier on, you said something about a test,
Doing a test. Doing a
like
test.
a test, like something to qualify for the to see what grade we will land in.
Yeah, oh, not a test. You could send your transcript. Sorry. So if you
Oh,
have the transcripts, just WhatsApp it to Esther. So if you have like a PDF or a scan picture of your
that's like a
document,
grade, right?
Yes.
sorry.
A
Yes.
grade, right?
Mhm.
Yes, your grades. Yes, your grades, your report
Ah,
card, your grades, your transcript. Yes, just send it to Esther, and we'll have a look, and we could get back to you to let you know based on what you've done so far, where where would be the next grade placement for you for September.
okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We do have a checklist that usually really helps and guides parents and students as to what they need to present so that it makes it much easier for decision making on Miss Khan's side of things. Because while she has the ability and some reach to be able to make decisions, it still has to stand up to accreditation standards I remember that Christine would have mentioned, Miss Khan, I'm so sorry, would have mentioned that there is the possibility of dual admission where one can possibly earn a letter of acceptance or admission from University of Winnipeg Collegiate, followed by a conditional letter of admission from University of Winnipeg itself. So there are many, many, many opportunities here. It just has to be weighed very carefully. One of the things I would like to say though, Ms. Khan, that stood out to me, I should just say Christine, that stood out to me is that students can pursue 8 to 10 months of secondary school, finish 8 to 10 months of the 12th grade, and then transition and be eligible for the Canadian scholarships. As yeah, that's fantastic because I think that a lot of international students and parents, they're doing it the other way around, you know. So it's a fantastic it's a win-win really because they earn that for those who are eligible, they earn scholarships. Number two, they have a Canadian high school diploma that they can take with them anywhere in the world, and be, show that they've completed high school, no questions asked, right? And three, it gives them automatic, well, not automatic, but it can give them admission to whether universities in Canada or abroad, the UK, right? So I think it's brilliant. So that I just had to reiterate because that's what stood out. That was one of my major takeaways from this evening. It's great news. Thank you, Christine. Thank you so much. Questions, anyone? Any further questions just before we close? We'll take one last question before we close this evening. Just one. Okay. Seems as though everyone, okay, Elijah has one last question. Hi, Elijah. Last question.
Hi. I just wanted to know, it's a very short question. I just wanted to know, so you based on what you just said, I infer from that, going through your program and then applying to, let's say, Winnipeg, for example, would give us a better chance of getting scholarships from Winnipeg as opposed to if I was just using my CAPE one time, like if I just use my CAPE to go to Winnipeg straight. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes, yes. So rather than looking at, and so again, the reason why international students don't qualify or not looked at for a lot of entrance scholarships is because it's apples to oranges. There's so much world curriculums. It's really hard to have one level field of where you could just have a pool of students competing against each other. So by coming to do your grade 12 year with us, you are doing your grade 12 credits. So you have grade 12 marks. And so now you're in a pool with other Canadian students. And so it's apples to apples. It's the exact same thing. So whether you have a passport or a visa or you have a Canadian passport, in terms of your academics, there's no difference between you and a Canadian student. So that's why you're now in the same pool or the same pot. And so you still have to qualify, of course, like you still have to have good grades and you still have to qualify. A lot of those are automatically qualified for, but now you're just comparing the same thing. So it opens up a lot of more opportunities to be able to get some money. We're not talking like a big X amount of money, but definitely some more than what you would have had if you had just applied based on your CAPES.
Okay, I see. Thank you.
Yes.